Well, greetings and salutations, Series 7 test takers. This is the Series 7 Guru coming to you from my studio here in fabulous Las Vegas with another explication request. We'll help you with any question from any vendor, just easier if it's a Kaplan question because I can bring it up backstage. If you don't have a Kaplan Q Bank, I highly recommend it as a paid supplement. The best free supplement to your paid study materials is my YouTube channel. But in terms of a paid supplement, a Kaplan Q Bank can be yours for about $60 with my 10% Guru 10 discount code at checkout. That works for any Kaplan product or service. I would also recommend the quick sheets, and I teach the Kaplan Series 7 typically the second month of each quarter. Sometimes I take myself off the schedule, but pretty routinely put myself on the schedule. Check it out if you want to join me for a class. Anyways, let's get this question done. An investor buys two RST 40 calls and pays a premium of 4 each. So I've established the choice to sell 200 shares of RST at $40 a share. He also buys two RST 40 puts and pays a premium 2.5. So I also have a choice to sell 200 shares at 40. I always put me in the question just to make it easier to figure out what's going on. So basically, I have a choice to buy at 40. I have a choice to sell at 40. We should be able to recognize this as a long straddle. We're straddling the strike price of 40. A straddle is when you're long two different type of contracts or short two different type of contracts. When purchased, RST is trading at 40.75. On the expiration date, RST is trading at 32.50, and the investor closes out the positions for intrinsic value. They love that phraseology on the test. So, intrinsic value, remember, is the relationship of the market price to the strike price. And so the only three things that can happen in an option contract is it can be traded, it can be exercised, or it can be traded, exercised, or expire. And here we're going to say it's been trading. So we're going to be offsetting. Okay, well, then what we want to do, if you follow my method, is fire up the T. I believe in tracking money in and out. So if you are good at contract specifications, you're not struggling that this is a choice to buy at 40 and a choice to sell at 40, you can track money, you're in pretty good shape. Now, I suggest you do things on a per share basis, and then when you're all done, just multiply once. I'm guessing maybe perhaps the student that requested this is trying to do too much at one time. What I mean by that is I'm not going to put $800 in my dollars out box. I'm going to say I'm out 4 points. I'm going to do it on a point per share basis, and then when I'm all done, I'm going to multiply. So I'm out 4 points for the 40 calls. I'm out 2.5 points for the 40 puts. So I'm out a total of 6.5. Okay, so now it says the stock is 32.5, and I close out at intrinsic value. Remember, our two memory aid devices were call up, put down. Call up, put down. My choice to sell at 40 with the stock at 32.5 is worth 7.5 points. That's a relationship between the market value of the stock, 32.5, and the strike price of the put. By that way, that would still be 7.5 if I were short. It just would be, the T would be opposite directions for the offset here. Okay, so now I can close this thing out, and I should know that the 40 call has no intrinsic value. No intrinsic value. So there's no such thing as negative intrinsic value to have it or don't. So that's a 0. And my 40 put is 7.5. So now I can simply net that out and say, okay, well, I paid 6.5 and I got 7.5. So I made 1 point on two contracts that govern 100 shares. So the answer to the question is I have a $200 gain, right? That's the difference between that. Another way you could have done this is you could have established the break-evens, said, okay, well, this is a straddle. I've identified it. You could have calculated the upside break-even of 46.5 and the downside break-even of 33.5. And then you could say, okay, well, it's long, silo, memory aid, short inside, long outside. If it's a long straddle, I want the market price to be outside of the break-evens. And here it certainly is, right? 32.50 is 1 point outside of the break-even, that range. So that would have been another way you could have answered this question as well. Okay, I will link to the options lecture. I have two options lectures. I have one on advanced option strategies, but I also have separate carve-outs on Straddle, and I'll put that one in here in the video description and the pinned comment for you. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Remember, inch by inch, your Series 7 is a cinch, and yard by yard, your Series 7 is hard. And I'll see you for the next explication request. I have a couple more here to get caught up, so be patient. They will show.